Good morning, friends. Thank you for joining me on this week's installment of This Old Barn. My name is Kevin. I'm the facilities manager at Happily Ever After Farm Sanctuary. Today we are going to do a quick facilities update. It's going to be quick because we have mostly been focusing on snow removal, and then we're going to finally get to Claire's question. As always, if you have any questions, please put them in the comments below and I will get to them in a future video. I always love hearing what you guys have to say in the comments. So for the facilities update, as I said, we've been mostly focusing on snow removal. We've been getting quite a bit of snow, and this week it's unfortunate but also kind of nice. The weather has warmed up a bit. We are floating around the freezing point at this point, which is nice, but it's also raining. And when it rains on top of all the snow that we've got, we get a bunch of ice. So we've been dealing with lots of salt and sand to make sure that everything is nice and safe. Of course, no salt in the resident spaces, but we are doing sand and snow removal and just chipping away at the ice just to make sure that everyone is nice and safe. We've also made some progress on some of the projects that we have planned for this year, which I'm actually going to get to as part of Claire's question. So now it's time to answer Claire's question. Claire had a very detailed question that has two parts. She asks, what is the most difficult / challenging project that I've taken on as facilities manager? And also, what is one project that we just haven't been able to do, or we started and we haven't been able to get it completed? I'll get to the second one in a little bit. We're going to change locations for that one. But for the first question, I had a lot of trouble coming up with the answer. What's the most difficult / challenging project that we've completed here? Because the first thing that comes to mind is these two barn builds. Oh, that are actually, one of them is right behind me. Hopefully you can see that over my shoulder. And so that was my first reaction, was the amount of planning and engineering drawings and all that stuff and permits. Just, oh, that process took a very long time, and then hiring contractors. So that was maybe the most challenging in terms of the amount of work that was actually required to get it going, and coordination and all of that sort of thing. But in terms of difficulty for the facility staff, I want to say the fencing behind me in the forest number 2 is probably the most challenging project that we've taken on. It took so much time to dig the holes in there, because not only do we deal with a ton of bedrock in this area where we are running into problems with just so much rock when we're digging, that we can't even really use equipment to dig these holes. The equipment just breaks down very quickly. So we do our best with the equipment, and then from there we have to dig a lot of them by hand. We hire contractors for a lot of that as well, which always helps, and the facilities team is always appreciative of. But in terms of that area, it was rocks and roots. So we were having to really rearrange where we were putting all of the posts, because we never knew if we were going to get down far enough to make the posts safe. We also wanted to maximize the space that we had, because the forest is a huge space and we really wanted the pigs to have access to as much of it as possible. So the first thing that we did in that space was hire arborists to come in and identify just which trees were the healthiest, and try to remove all of the underbrush that would just help make those other trees healthier. It would also give more space to the pigs, and also make the area just much safer for the pigs. There was a lot of small brush in there, so when they came in and removed all of it, it really opened the space up. So because this area is a pig area, we need to make sure that the fence line is pig safe. What that means is super strong fencing, and that means posts every 8 feet. We try to get the gates to be as strong as possible, but when you're dealing with roots and rocks and all of that sort of thing, you have to kind of compromise where you're putting fence posts and what kind of fence posts you're using. We ended up using a mixture of the T-bar fencing and the wood posts, just to make it as strong as possible. But the problem solving involved with that was just through the roof. It was a really challenging project, but really fun. M played a huge role in getting this area completed, and their work on this was unbelievable. Thank you so much for that question, Claire. It was really fun to think about, and like as I was trying to come up with an answer, I did not expect it to be the fencing in this area, but that's what I came up with. I'm going to head over to the duck coop to answer your second question. Okay, we are now at the duck coop. The second part of Claire's question was, what is a project that we have wanted to do or have even started but just haven't been able to complete? And again, thank you, Claire, because another surprising answer came into my head. We're at the duck coop because my answer is upgrading / replacing this duck pond. there have been a lot of opportunities for us to put something in that is similar slash a little bit better. That would be a little bit better for the birds, but it's not exactly what I want here. The challenge here is the hill that you can probably see from here, the hill that the duck coop is on, means that to actually add a proper pond, we have to really raise up the ground on this side to make it so it can be nice and level and easy for the birds to get in and out of. Or we could expand the duck coop to the area behind the camera, which is actually nice and flat. But this area for a long time was used for a recovery space before the extra barn stalls were added. So that was also a challenge of just trying to decide where to put it. The nice thing is, and I mentioned this earlier that we would get back to, the planning for this year includes adding covered spaces that Nancy requested for biosecurity for his Secret Santa. So we're going to be adding all these covered spaces to the coops, and part of that I'm hoping we can include the duck pond. So we will make this one big project to just really improve the space right here. There's a lot that goes into planning a new pond like this. We have to consider the drainage, how easy will it be to clean, how easy will it be for the birds to get in and out of, because they, as they age, it gets harder for them to get in and out of the pond, and it really needs to be accessible for them because they love to be in there, as you can see behind me. So fingers crossed by spring we have a great plan for this area, and we will get that implemented, and they will have a beautiful new pond that's covered and biosecure and all of that good stuff. Oh my gosh, they are chatting it up now. Oh. So Claire, thank you so much for that thoughtful question. I really enjoyed answering it and thinking about it, and getting reflective like that this time of year is always nice as we're moving into planning for 2024. So please, if anyone else has questions, put them in the comments below, and I will get to them in a future video. Thanks everybody. Bye.